Hello and welcome to some more fall artwork. Today we're going to be doing a dreamy, soft fall incoming, like it looks like a late fall to me, incoming winter scene. But unlike the reference photo, we're going to pump a little bit more color gradients into it. If you're interested, the reference photo is on the Discord for anybody that would like to check that out or use it for creating. I'm going to start by making my layout here. Love the softness of this whole thing. But I'm going to make the hills a little bit more roundy. Her horizon line's going to be just above half. Looks like they're either evergreen trees or conical, or is it cone or is it pyramid shaped trees? That's how you explain their growth habit. Oh, for sure. Okay, so it's going to be a larger, more detailed embankment of trees here. That is going to swing that hill this way. Biggest, most defined tree is going to be here, out in the front. Draw that one in first and then draw everything else in around it. This is alcohol-based ink, so it's gonna stay put when we put the paint on top of it. Some other, yo, how you doing in fame? Your day going so far? All these trees back here are definitely going to be taller than this one. Yay! Yeah, I really pushed to get a stream up today. I was going through a couple hundred inspirational images for fall landscape paintings, and I saved about, I don't know, 30 plus images, and thought to myself, I need to get some of these out. And while we can still paint a lot of fall color images into the beginning of winter, like probably all the way through November, I would think, still really wanted to kickstart them, and I had a hard time picking one of them for today. because there was one with a little barn, like a Bob Ross style barn in there. I was close, really close to picking that for today. Trip to the art supply store. Yeah. I get that, but I have a real, what I consider a real big problem sticking to what I am doing. And so I need to limit, put in parameters so that I can stay on task. It's gonna be darker. And so I like to limit my supplies, limit my brushes, and like try to restrain my subject matter as much as reasonably possible, but I even get off topic enough as it is. But if you haven't heard already, I am going to be doing Treetober for the month of October, and I'm pretty excited about that, and that's a surefire way to stay on topic. So there's going to be 3 art prompts a week. All the details are listed on the Discord, and you can get to that link specifically if you do exclamation point giveaway, and I am going to be doing a painting giveaway as well. Just to be extra motivational. I would just love it if people participated in any way they felt comfortable. All right, there we go. That looks good. I just posted the art prompts yesterday on social media and on Discord and everything, so it's very fresh out of the oven. Yes. So fresh. And it includes some trees that are old favorites, and then hopefully some ones that people don't think about all the time, that are pretty cool. Okay, I feel like that's good enough. Now we'll do our underpainting. In our favorite fall underpainting color. A lot more shape in the clouds than what's in the reference photo also, for some variation and interest. Up your watercolor game. Watercolors are fun. They're fun. My only, actually no, I have a couple of disappoint with watercolors, and that is that they are scary because they move so quickly and dry so quickly, and once you lose that white, if you needed that for something, then it's kind of like it's gone, baby, gone. And then there's so many things that I do with acrylics that it makes me scared of watercolors. Makes me scared. I feel like I'm okay with them. It just makes me want to go back to acrylics. It's true. It's true. Once you get used to one medium, it's those things that you're used to doing that you can't do anymore make you really uncertain of the steps you need to take to get where you want to go. For sure. Yeah, I love the colors that you can get with oil painting, but everything else about it is cringy for me. So here we are, and here we will stay. But you can be sure that I've thought about it every which way, that's for sure. But you know what I do like? I really like, it's gonna sound weird, like simulated watercolor. Like digital watercolor. Love digital watercolor, that's my favorite. And I know it's cheating, and that's fine. I'll fix the values on that coming up in our next layer. That dark right there. Oh man, yeah. Pastels. Isn't it interesting that that's still called a painting? I would think that would be like drawing hands down. Oh, literally hands down. But no. Watercolor, or I'm sorry, painting. Pastel painting. Okay. Okay, I like the values. I'm going to deepen some of the darker values, but you can see how the light kind of pulls you here and it pulls you there. So the journey, you're kind of coming down. And then there will be some higher contrast lines here, so it will bring you all the way down. Now in the reference photo, there's like a little road, but I don't feel like it delivers enough impact to even, like I'm not even gonna, I don't think. We'll see. Anything that you have to wear gloves to do, I'm not super enthused about because I don't want to wear gloves. Okay. So I'm going to try to bring variation of color into this. We are at the end of step 2. Exactly. Yeah, drawing. Drawing, definitely drawing. And what's wrong with drawing? What's wrong with that? I think this whole thing should stay warm. Warm colors. I'm gonna put some magenta out on my palette here. And this is cadmium medium red. Now I want to keep this, like it's going to end up being soft, but I want some variations of color and a little bit of texture. So I'm going to put the texture and the color down, and then I'm going to put glazes of white and softer colors on top. And I'm hoping that you'll still be able to see some of the texture underneath, but it's kind of it's a thought that I'm having and kind of an experiment. So we'll see. That's bright aqua green. And this is cerulean blue, but I don't know if I'm gonna use those for anything more than just brown. And this is raw sienna. Okay. Now we're talking. I'm going to use the filbert brush. Just a tad of the bright aqua green. Gonna loosely, lightly paint the areas around the clouds. I'm gonna use quite a bit of water. Make this thin. It's gonna be thin, it's gonna be loose. now I am just barely touching the cerulean blue. I'm going to come in from this side. That looks like a little too much paint, so I clean off the brush all the way. Add more water and then drag it around. And using motions that are kind of cloud-like motions. Okay. I'm just gonna barely touch the side of that magenta. And where? Just a few places. You see that we're building up some really subtle color gradients. I think you can see that. We're gonna leave that sky alone. And I'm gonna put some of that magenta in the darker areas. Cover painting. Well, thank you for the follow. Turquoise Underpants. Welcome to the stream. So I'm starting with the magenta where the dark values are going to be, and I'm going to bring them up to like cooler colors after just kind of getting them down. That color though. Just want really subtle pops of this color throughout. We're going to add some of those cool tones down in the shadows. Well, like a process. I'm painting really loosely, so it doesn't matter that I'm still using a filbert. It's fine. Just adding magenta to the bottom of these background trees because it's not going to matter too much. Those are going to fade up into the sky. A little bit more to the bottom, this bottom tree here. Foreground grasses here. I am not happy with the golden. I'm not happy with most of the magentas I find, honestly. But this one is it's quinacridone magenta, and it's from Liquitex Professional Heavy Body. Yeah, I was super not happy with the last one that I encountered. Just hard to get a good magenta, I guess. Part of it might also be the underpainting, but I don't know. I like this one of the last couple I tried. There we go. That seems good. Gouache, acrylic gouache. Now, have you tried acrylic gouache? Because I heard, yeah, it's just a higher pigment acrylic paint. Is that right? And also, is it more frail, or is it just more expensive? Like, what's the deal with that? I saw that when I was experimenting with gouache, but it turns out, like, is it still matte finish? It's part of the perk of painting with gouache, is adds this nice high pigment matte finish, and it's super easy to photograph. It's nice for reproduction. Okay, now I'm going to put cools into the shadows. I'm gonna use the flat brush instead of the filbert because it's just that's just easier. Oh, still got some yellow going on in there. And then I wonder, and these are all questions that I answer by going on YouTube, but I wonder if the acrylic gouaches can just be used with acrylics. That's a question I definitely have. You know, also I'm thinking about putting Prussian out. Prussian blue. Not as thin as Flow acrylics. Okay, that's good. So I wonder if you can still use it on canvas then. So many questions. kind of using the edge of this flat brush. This has cerulean blue and Prussian blue on it, so there's some variation of color happening. I grab another brush and blend out the edges. Hello, Mocap. How are you doing? Nice colors. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just cleaning off the brush in between strokes here, blending the edges of this blue area back into the magenta that we put down earlier. Soften all that up. Blendy, blendy, blendy. I'm doing well. I'm excited about a couple things about the fall series of paintings, because all these jewel tones are very inspirational for me. And then I'm really excited about doing October art prompts, Treetober. And I'm going to be doing a painting giveaway for that, and that's fun and stimulating. And then also, I'm going to be getting an iPad and an Apple Pencil. I'm excited about that because I really like doing my layouts and color theory digitally, and yeah, that would be really fun. Really great tool. You know, sometimes I want to paint and have my feet up at the same time. Like a hashtag mom life thing. At the end of the day. It'd be nice to be able to cuddle up and do that. Feet up, reclined, and paint. Like the value here can come down a little darker, but I'm going to use cerulean instead of the Prussian. Just a little bit. Not everywhere. Some of those values need to come a little bit darker just to ink them back from the background. But yeah, fall is, I'm one of those fall favorite season people. So, very inspiring. I already baked my first pumpkin pie and it was a success. Very successful thing. Using cerulean blue for the shadows of these here. Maybe just a touch of Prussian down at the bottom. Tie it in. I really go loose and wild with the brush strokes with that. Hey, I'm liking the color balance so far. Too opaque there. That out. I might have to grab another brush. I think I'm gonna cool down the foreground, and what that will do is it'll make you go to the middle of the painting faster with your eye. If I cool down this area, go right there. If you're trying to practice watercolors, it's gonna be weird. Yeah, I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time painting without the intention of finishing it. Finishing it as like finished, done thing that can be for sale. But then I've been working in commercial artwork for a long time, and that kind of breaks you in that regard. You're always thinking, you know, what can I do with this? And that's why I don't, honestly, I don't sketch. I want to get some interesting shapes here. It's brush strokes. Something that kind of makes the terrain interesting. I'm going to grab a little bit of aqua too and experiment with that. Feel like you're terrible at sketching? That's funny. I just don't like it. Like sides, thumbnails, and I'm talking like, okay, hold on. Like, we'll do thumbnails like this for a general plan and layout purposes, but after that, no, not really. It's like the next 10 paintings. With the exception of all the wonderful reference photos that I found today. I love this aqua with the magenta, with the orange. I love this aqua, just generally. This would be my, like, one of my signature things. Have people try out would be this color. They're like the only 3 spot colors that I use is, well, this guy I don't usually have raw umber, but the bright aqua, the magenta, those are the mixed secondary colors that I go to quite frequently. Russian for some of those grasses. Staying loose, staying transparent. No, I totally get you on that. It doesn't sound weird at all. I do not like, yeah, thrifty was definitely in my background. And time conservation too, though. I feel really stingy with my time. some of this blue up a bit. That direction. It's like it's very overcast and foggy, so I feel like there's not super strong directional light. Not super strong. There we go. Everybody has wasted hours watching cat videos on YouTube. And I don't know, can you really say that's wasted time? Because I feel like that is some definite life improvement. There, now we've brought the Prussian down. I'm gonna add a little here. Okay. Now, soul therapy, exactly. Exactly. Okay, I've used 2 flats and a filbert. Now I am going to use our Stanley brush. I'm playing with the idea of using like a mixing white, a transparent white, like the, not titanium, the other one, the, called aluminum? And I just got rid of this stuff. Or did I? Oh, I think I did. Put it in the car. It's like, bah, I'll use this at work. Well, it's okay. Because what I usually do is I just, I water it down ever so slightly and just use the titanium white that I'm always used to using, and then I can make it thinner and or thicker depending on where I'm at in the paint. Hello, SKT. How you doing? Okay. So I got the round brush, got the white ready. Here we go. I'm gonna make some areas softer and dreamier. Wherever it's a little too opaque, I'm just gonna spread it out. Let's start with the widest areas, being the highlights of these clouds. I'm gonna use these circular movements around. I'm gonna be very transparent, and I might lighten up some edges here and there. These colors. I'm so glad to bring these colors into your life right now. Well, I will make prints of this painting available, and I think on my shop you can get anything even as small as a greeting card. So all the way up to 16 by 20 on metal. So that's cool. I've been really digging the fall series, the jewel tones, all of this stuff. What's great about massaging the white into the painting like this is not only am I controlling the opacity of it, but I'm kind of changing the edges of areas. So if there's a hard edge that I like, I can leave it there. If there's I feel like it needs to be softened up, I can just go right over the top of it. Inches? Yes, 16 by 20 inches is my prints. My 8 by 10 paintings can be printed up to 16 by 20. And then down to, I think 4 by 5 is like the greeting card size. Yeah. Oh, 100 geese. Oh my gosh, geese. I don't really miss living around geese. I lived in the Pacific Northwest for a while. I did that whole pedestrian lifestyle thing. And I tell you what, those geese leave a pretty big mess on the sidewalk. Pretty much wherever you go, you were dodging leftovers. It's interesting hearing what everybody's weather patterns are like. Because our here, where I am, it's almost like summer just started. Like 2 weeks ago. Three and a half acres, that's a good chunk of space. That's nice. Ooh. Oh my goodness, what region of the world are you in where your summer ended a month ago? But way up there? Sweden. Okay, great. I had a feeling it was something like that. And then, how long until it gets warm again? How long until you ditch the sweater during the daytime in Sweden? Occasionally I do miss sweater weather. I don't get to have all that, you know, fall fashions are so popular. And where I'm at, you could get away with a pullover and shorts and flip-flops like all year round. So, you know, it has its perks. Ooh, rainy and windy 90% of the time here. So yeah, I used to wear a lot more scarves when I was in the Pacific Northwest, that's for sure. It's like, it felt like you got to pick out more clothes to wear. You had your beanie and all your scarves and like wrist warmers and gloves and all your overcoats and stuff like that. All of that stuff is just in a bag in the closet for God knows how long. So like June? So no t-shirt for you until next June. Woo! Oh man. Eastern Canada. Well, I will keep that in mind. But then I'm in America, so there's that. That'd be I don't think you can just like immigrate to Canada. Can you? Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't know a thing about it. Loving how ethereal these clouds are. Wow, 110K for a 2-story house and 3.5 acres. My word. Yeah, in my area, 110K doesn't get you anywhere, which is why my house is so tiny. Wow. What year was that when her house was just 56K? Well, wait, are you living in like a rural area? Like let's use this as a gauge. How far do you need to drive to get to a grocery store? $2005? Okay. How far to a grocery store? What I want to know. Eight minutes? Okay, that's not bad. Not bad at all. See, the reason why this area is so expensive, it's proximity to the Silicon Valley. And then I'm under 2 miles to the beach. And like the nice beaches. So that'll do it. Funny things are happening. Tremendously beautiful, thank you. That's probably the longest descriptive word somebody's used. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really digging these soft gradients. It's gonna be even prettier in person. I'll definitely make some videos, like close-up videos. I do close-up videos of all of my finished paintings so that people can really like get in there and see all the brush strokes. You will be remembered. Thank you for the follow, Andy Toast, and welcome. I'm starting with that sky, and I'm gonna move down, and I'm gonna make the landscape soft as well. So part of the Treetober art prompts to keep myself on track, kind of like a tool, is we're going to be painting fall trees throughout the month of October, and then towards Halloween time they're going to be like spooky trees and enchanted trees, and I have another moonscape tree idea, or at least a couple of them that I feel like I might want to try out, and that'll be really fun. Very fun. If it can be fun, seasonally relevant, and productive, I'm really excited about that kind of thing. I think sky good. Soften up just a couple more lines here. Some of them are so subtle, it's I pull my eye away to put more paint on my brush, and then I'm like, where was I? There it is. Ooh, yeah. Fall version of Yggdrasil. That's a nice, that would have been good for the prompt list. It would have been good. I mean, I could always do that for Enchanted Tree. I wanted to keep them kind of vague so that people would have creative freedom. And I don't know what painting is going to be given away yet, but it will be one of the paintings done in the month of October. Very useful. Okay, I feel like that sky is good. It's good. Okie dokie. Now, these guys, I'm gonna pull some of this fog over some of these, the tops of these, to give it more dimension. Just gotta be a wee bit careful. And fast. Careful and fast, because if I put a brush stroke down that I don't like, I can pull some water and fix it, but you gotta kind of be on it. This has quite a bit of water on it, so if I want to fix or add more white there, I'm going to wait for it to dry all the way. Let some of those trees right there peek out. I'm going to just glaze my way to victory here. Just add layer by layer. Some of those tops are going to disappear into the fog. Eight browns and 8 yellow acrylic paints? I mean, it's fall time, so they didn't think you were that crazy, I'm sure. have had a couple of art store people be like, so what are you making? Like so many things, so many different things. Wouldn't be able to tell you. There we go. Now see those trees are kind of going into the distance as we're lightening them up and making the fog kind of swirl around them. Soften this one up too, just because it's the same value as these guys, and these guys are so much closer to us. I'm gonna use on some points. My favorite. Tyler's favorite too. It would seem. Let that area, I don't want to pick up any paint. I'm going to let that area dry. Okay, now to lighten up some of these guys. I am going to use some of that raw umber. I didn't just pour it out there for no reason. And bottoms of those. Okay, another layer of fog. Obscuring that distant area right there. And I'm going to blend it down. Lift off that paint. There we go. Okay. That's good for those guys. So some of the tops disappear, not all the way. All the way, not quite. Just don't want to lose the detailing. Just in one spot. Spots. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna switch. We're I think pretty well done with the background. Now we're in the foreground again. I'm gonna go with our small flat. Just a little tinge on it still. Where we're gonna use some of that raw sienna. Is that right? Yes, yeah. Stronger version of our underpainting color. Bring that color back and over and add more texture. It will help us values too. Might even put a little bit of magenta in it here and there. Get a little bit of a stronger color, but we'll see. Probably gonna need a finer brush for this tree here. Back to the point. There's the magenta and the sienna mixed together. Now I'm gonna cover up the top of the form of the tree, but let all those shadow colors show on the undersides of the branches. Bring in a little bit more of that Prussian back. Let's see if I can stream more air and kind of create separation between the background trees here. So I'm gonna paint the space. There we go. Kind of separates him out. Liking that color and the addition of it. Foreground, I might add it to the outside of this tree. It's yellow, has cadmium yellow light and then some raw umber in it as well as white. Very glowy. It's glowy. Blending it out. There we go, that kind of shows some light coming from this direction, which seems to be what's happening. That same thing on the same sides of the background tree. Maybe the cloudy sky is burning off a little bit towards that direction. This is a clean brush to again blend the edge. Like that, feels the light. Now that we've decided on a direction for our light instead of just kind of glowy, I'm going to add a little bit more warmth to that side of the tree to help it. I was kind of being bothered by how much it blended into the other trees, and it does, to be fair, it does in the reference photo also, but I don't want that for our painting, so a little bit more magenta onto that side, bringing it over slightly. Okay, there we go. And a little bit more Prussian because I want a little bit more variation in the branches here, actually. A little too symmetrical and a little too perfect. That like happen at a really regular interval. Bothersome. Alright, there we go. That's better. Hey. Good. Put a little bit of yellow on trees back there just to tie it in. Looks good. Very fantasy looking back there. Soften up that tea here. Might have to come back until it's dry though. I'm putting some little detail grasses in. Yeah, I like now that this tree is catching the light and it has so much more contrast than it did before. Okay, now I'm gonna detail, put some little grasses in the foreground. I think that might be it. We'll see. See how I feel at that point. I'm feeling really good about the trees and the highlights and the amount of fluffy fog coming over the background trees. I like that. I'm gonna grab my script brush. This guy. Script brush Larry. One last video clip, of course. Okay, I feel like that pretty much does it. It's like some tiny little things. Maybe I want to bring a little bit that aqua cerulean blue combo, like kind of a dry way over here. Right here. Tie it in a little bit more. I'm seeing I want to darken up the right side of this tree here. That's good. That'll give us an opportunity to make the branches a little less symmetrical, less perfect out, less good. That would be down. I'm blending them towards the middle, like them fade out towards the middle. So that to look not stuck on. There we go. See. It's definitely taken on a life of its own. I mean, you know, yeah, I like it. It carries the feeling from the reference photo, and then that's it. Like, a ton of luminosity, a lot of gradating colors, which is what I wanted to bring to this. If you're interested in seeing the reference photo, it is available on our art community Discord. It's linked off my website, or it's linked off of Twitch info pane. Also, let's see, I'm gonna initial this bad boy. The time lapse on this one I feel like will be fun to watch. And that'll be available on my YouTube, and I am really looking forward to whoever is going to over. First prompt is going to be Aspen. I think the first three, one's for the first week of October, because I broke it up into weeks. It's going to be, where is it? Where is it? October. Aspen, jacaranda, and cypress. Jacaranda is a purple tree. That'll be fun. And then cypress, I'm going to be doing a coastal cypress tree, and I believe I'm going to be posting the reference photo in the Discord. So, would love it. Want to. Any display of creativity applies. So, if you're going to do like something like dancing, singing, or baking, then you'll want to make like a video presentation of that, I'm sure. Maybe you can bite into it and be like, Aspen muffins, Aspen inspired muffins. Maple tree is on there, so that maybe that would be a good one to bake for. Either way, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you again next time. Yeah, this is really dreamy, like super dreamy. Happy with that. Happy with the colors, and really excited to make the video for this one, so look forward to that. All right, see you next time.